Okay, here we're going to talk a little bit about idiom. And idiom can be pretty tough on the SAT because what idiom is a pairing of verb and preposition that we as English speakers have just decided is okay, right, and is the correct way of saying things, right? So it's basically pure memorization. It's not something that you really can figure out or use logic to figure out. You kind of just have to know these, all right? But what I can give you are some examples, right, of common idiom pairings that show up on the test. So for example, number 1, I prefer this blank that, right? So our verb here is prefer, all right? And we're trying to figure out what preposition goes with prefer. Maybe as a refresher, right, what are prepositions? They're the small connector words in English. So words like in, of, on, above, between, under, right? It's the ones that basically keep the sentence going and are the small connector ones. So here I want to say, I prefer this blank that, all right? Some people might think that this is over. I prefer this over that. But really, it should be to. All right, I prefer this to that. That is the correct pairing in English. Prefer always gets paired with to. Okay. In number 2, I'm between this blank that. Right. Some might say that this should be I'm between this or that. Okay. But actually in English, we have agreed that this is the correct way of saying it. I'm between this and that. Okay? So between always should get paired with and. Alright? Number 3, I'm preoccupied blank this. Alright? This one should be with. Okay? I'm preoccupied with this. Okay? Again, preoccupied always gets paired with. And last but not least, this is different blank that. All right. Some people might say that this should be this is different than that. Right. But actually this should be this is different from that. Okay. This one's pretty important as well. This one comes up on the test quite frequently. Different always gets paired with from. So again, prefer to, between, and, preoccupied with, and different from. All right, these are some common idioms, but once again, if you see any of the small words underlined in your problem, the only thing that could really be wrong with it is idiom. So you want to make sure, is that the correct verb preposition pairing, right? Do I say prefer to, or do I say prefer over, right? And really the only way to learn these is to memorize them as you go along and you see these idiomatic phrases.